Hello and welcome
To the duality of man.
Code's Corner K4. Not K4, K2.
No, this is duality of man.
Welcome to Duality of Man. I am Ying and joined by Yang.
Yes. Yin. It is time.
Yeah, Code's Corner K2, Season 2, Episode 2. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. We're learning to count all over again.
What do you mean, bro? It's 222. Three of my favorite numbers.
You can only. Wait a minute. I
um,
don't think. I don't think that's how that works.
it's totally how that works, bro. For sure. Last time on
Sure thing, buddy.
uh, last time on Better Call Saul, our intrepid group of investigators were assigned to investigate. Who'd have thunk it? Strange seismological anomalies, if you will, in central Mexico, centered around the small rural village of Aguamanca. The group went on their way. They had an interaction with a man who pretended to be their guide, who was then assaulted by the actual guide, a lizard folk man named Ramon. And they got in Ramon's Jeep. Ramon drove them to the village. They went to their hotel, did their thing. They looked around the library, did some research, found out some stuff about the local gods, local mythology, chupacabras, the topology of the area, and then they went to bed for the evening.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. The party, of course, consists of Dr. Nathaniel Boston Brook, Dr. Jason Van Helsing, uh, Nyx and Yuna, the Bone Fairy and Tooth Fairy, respectively. Yu Zhen, the Hell Warlock, and his trusty steed slash therapy animal, Battlecock.
Indeed, I fucking love that.
I mean, he could be a steed for like the Tooth Fairy, so you know.
This is true. He's my steed, though.
It will be a deadly combo. Trust me. A tooth fairy riding on the back of Battlecock, woo,
Yeah, bro.
Bro.
and then the bone fairy chasing them. Oh yeah, tailing behind, being assisting. You know.
Now, I don't think that the Bone Fairy just like teleports constantly to the Bone Fairy or to the Tooth Fairy. So every couple
Oh yeah.
seconds, it just appear in the ground behind the Battlecock.
V clipping through the ground.
Yeah. God.
God, I think that'd be horrifying. The bone fairy in a moving vehicle doing drive-bys, but the drive-bys is taking bones from people.
Uh,
God. So, set
Nice.
the scene. You are all in your hotel rooms. I think you had like two hotel rooms. With Boston Brooks staying with the Battlecock and
Zhuzhou
X,
Zhen.
and then JVH with the Tooth Fairy, Bone Fairy. Um, so yeah, you guys are napping. We're sleeping off that jet lag. When you guys are awoken by a string of gunfire that shreds the kind of front wall where there are a couple of windows in each of your rooms that faces the street outside. This rapid submachine gun automatic fire just sprays through both of the rooms.
Sick
Smashes the
nasty.
windows, pierces through the thin wooden boards that make the walls of this place. And you are all awoken suddenly. What do?
Can I return fire with my rail lock? Like just a blind shot out the window.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You bolt upright. You take your rail lock from underneath your pillow or whatever, and you
Yeah.
just blind fire through the wall. And I mean, yeah, it doesn't hit anybody, but it does blow a hole in the wall. Pretty
Sick
sizable
nasty.
hole, like a golf ball sized hole in the wood. Uh, the
I hear
gunfire
no
continues.
shrieks though.
No, you don't hear any. You don't think you hit. I mean, you probably hit something at some point. Probably hit somebody in like Malaysia or something. But none of the
I
gangsters
blew
that
up
issued
Malaysia.
anything. Yeah, you've sunk the Philippines with that singular shot.
Good.
So this gunfire continues for a few seconds. None of you were actually hit by any of it, and then it
They're
just kind of
very
goes
bad at
quiet.
aiming.
Well, yeah, I mean they were aiming kind of like waist height and above, but you guys were all lying down on beds, so you know.
Fair enough.
And I'm
These
assuming that
fools.
you're all like, you like, for example, the gunfire starts. Boston Brook immediately pulls his pistol from underneath his pillow and rolls off of his bed onto the ground and just lies there prone while the gunshots and the debris and stuff fly overhead. Um. So yeah, the gunfire does stop after a couple of seconds, and then it is eerie silence.
Uh, I'm not gonna peek out the window, but I'm gonna peek through one of the bullet holes.
Okay, make me a perception check then.
Alrighty. Ooh, baby, that's an 8.
An 8.
Yes, sir, Bob.
So you look outside through one of the bullet holes, and you see like a beaten up, old, rusty pickup truck uh, with probably like one guy still in the driver's seat. And then there are 4 other guys with Uzis and pistols, an MP5, and they're just kind of like standing in the street, looking up at the rooms where you guys were, uh, and you notice that 2 of them, kind of like one of them, kind of like the driver, leans out of the window of the pickup truck, and he says something to them you can't quite make out, and then the 4 of guys start making their way into the bar on the first floor.
Alright, I'm gonna turn to Knox. Or Nix.
Lamau.
And Tooth Fairy. Shut up. And I'm gonna be like, alright, well, we need to quickly get ready for combat. They are currently entering the building. So let's get ready for this.
And
Asterisk gas.
now we hard cut to Boston Brooks' hotel room where X suddenly sits, bolts upright in his bed, like a solid minute after the gunfire stops. And Boston Brooks looks at him from the floor of the hotel and is like, good morning, sunshine. Please do help. We're under attack.
Oh, sorry, dude. I was having a really good dream. If you could just give me 5 more minutes.
No.
Boston Brooks like squints at you from the floor next to his bed. And he kind of, you see the gears turning in his head. It's like, And he's like, no, I think, well, I got a battle cock here, so do whatever you want. And then Boston Book begins army crawling on the floor towards the door of the hotel room.
I'm gonna keep it to a low crouch and also move towards the door.
Okay. Of the 2 of you?
I guess my first action will be to survey the area because I have no idea what's going on. I was dreaming about, summoning Satan. It's pretty sick nasty, I have to say.
I'm gonna turn to Nyx, and I would be like, they're trying to hurt the Tooth Fairy.
Who?
trying to
Nyx,
trigger
you,
the bone fairy by saying that they're like, oh, they're here
they're
to
here.
kill the
Well,
tooth fairy.
they're here to kill the Tooth Fairy.
They're only here to kill the tooth fairy. They don't care about the
Yes.
chicken man or the British guy or the
Yeah.
demon warlock. No. Only care about
Yes.
you know, the tooth fairy.
I look at him and I'm like, uh-huh. And then I don't know if I had do we have a mental connection? Is there a mental connection between the two fairies?
There's like an empathic connection, but there isn't like a telepathic communication. No. Tooth Fairy, by the way,
Damn.
has been like in her cylinder on like the desk in this hotel room, and it's just kind of like, I mean, I assume she probably has
Chilling.
like her hands on her hips, just kind of like standing in the cylinder, as bullets have like whizzed past the cylinder and like one like dinged off the metal part of it and like ricocheted into the ground.
I think she would definitely, would definitely be like stretching, bullets flying past, and she's like, "Oh, it's that time of day again?"
I don't think my alarm was this last time.
Yeah. And then I think Nyx is going to grab the cylinder, and silently follow orders for a bit, trying to assess the best possible situation where Yuna does not get killed and any meat shield is a meat shield.
Fair enough.
Okay. So then X, you are in the other hotel with Boston Brook, and you have just been woken up, because you got tired of having your summoning Satan dream or whatever, and you look around. The hotel room has been damaged. The windows have been smashed. There are bullet holes all in the walls that face the street. Boston Brook is lying prone on the floor, army crawling towards the door with his gun in his hand and his sword on his hip. Yeah, that's what you hear. That's what you see. That's the situation.
That's what's going down right now, right here.
All right. Well, in that case, I guess I'll get up. I'll stretch. I'll go find my toothbrush. I gotta brush my teeth before I leave. It'd be improper to go out with like bad breath.
Okay, so you get up and walk into the bathroom. Boss Brook's like, what? Wait, Dina. And he starts shaking his head on the ground, and he's like, weird people. And then he stands up, and he kind of presses his back against the wall that's, backs up against the hallway, and where the door is, and he's just going to wait and listen. So you're all kind of by the door or in the bathroom or hanging around, and I guess those of you who are listening out can make me perception checks to hear
All right.
what's going on. I'll make one for
I got a
Boston.
5.
That's a 9.
Boston Brook also got a 9. It was almost a 1, but luckily it
Hey.
wasn't. So you all pass. So you all hear the creaky wooden floorboards of these stairs. That's probably a few yards down the hallway to your guys' collective left.
So I'm going to stand by the door with my sword at the ready so that when they come in through the door, I can have surprise.
Okay. Anybody else want to take any right actions before I say what Boston Brook does?
No. I think, I'll position myself, I suppose, on the other side of the door, Which way does the door swing open?
It would open inwards, so you would be standing, like, if they open the door, you would be behind the door when it opens.
Ah, this moron can't drive. Anyways, okay. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. In that case, then, so yes, you guys are stacked up against the door. Bosterbrook, he kind of, with his pistol in his one hand, he opens his door a little bit, peeks out into the hallway. He sees the guys making their way down. And I guess he probably would yell something to the effect of, face me like men, cowards, and then, tally ho, and then he just leans his out of the door, and he's gonna take 2 shots at the first 2 dudes he sees. Because Boston Brook isn't the other kind of guy to set a trap. He's the kind of guy to take the offensive. He rolled a 1, so his gun jams. But he does get 1 shot off, and I'm pretty sure that is a pass. In that case, 2d100 damage for him. Ooh, perfect. So Vosterbrook, he leans out, bang! The first shot goes off, and he hits one of the first gangster that he sees right in the chest, and the guy, and he falls over, dead, perfectly 100 damage even. The second shot, Vosterbrook pulls the trigger, and his 1911 jams, and he's like, damned American firearms. And he leans back into his room and slams the door closed. So now we can all roll initiative.
Sick nasty.
Hey, Dakota,
Mm-hmm.
I forget. Does Nix have
That
any
is.
weapons?
No. But because you're a bone fairy, you can make your own weapons.
Yes.
Just making sure. Also, I got an 8.
You are literally a weapon. I don't know what you're talking about.
15. You got an
Yes,
8.
but I'm focusing on driving.
The bone fairy got an 8. The bone fairy
I got
has
a 7.
a 15.
Do you want Yuna to go with the Bone Fairy? Not that I think she can do anything right now, but still.
Yeah. Plus, yeah, since she can't do anything, and plus she's the one who gives the orders and stuff. So yeah, I'll say that you guys go in the same initiative.
Alright.
Makes things simpler. I will bone fairy, and then you got a 8+, which is a 15. I roll for battlecock. What did you get, JVH, on the dice?
7.
A 7.
7 on the dice.
The dice. So then you got 12 in total.
Oh no, please don't tell me to go in.
Nice. Well, there goes my surprise round, I guess.
Battlecock has. Well, actually, I'll assume he's using he's in his one of his miscellaneous martial artist personalities right now. He's a 7 agility, plus he got 4 of this. It's an 11 in total. What did you get, Mr. Warlock Man?
Let me see. My agility is 4, so 13.
13. All right. So, up first is well, the enemies also rolled a 10. So there are 3 people who are tied for 15 initiative. Boston Brook, both of the fairies, and the gangsters. The Bone Fairies, Bone Fairy and Tooth Fairy have higher agility, so you will go first.
I'll let Boston Brook.
You will go Boston. Will Boston Brook go first? Okay. In that case, he will spend action numero uno, unjamming his gun, and action numero dos, firing 2 more times at the remaining gangsters. Oh, I got a 10 on one and a 6 on the other. And we'll roll the 10 first. Wow, that's 260 damage. So he blows one guy's head off. Second shot is only 60 damage. So that guy is still alive. So there are 2 enemies left alive.
I'm assuming I start with 0 bone mass.
Yes.
Okay.
So it will now be your turn.
I peek out from the door, which is probably a turn, I suppose, if you want.
I mean, no, I won't. Like, in terms of like movement space, that would be less than 5 feet of movement. So that doesn't
Okay,
count.
so yeah, I'll peek out the door to see the enemies.
Yeah, you do. You look out, peek, open the door a little bit, peek outside of the hallway, and there is. You see that 2 of them are being shot. 2 of them are dead. One of them has
Yeah.
a huge hole in his face at the back of his skull, and the other guy has on the ground lying there with the bullet wound in his chest. And then another guy is mortally injured, has perfectly 40 health left, and then another friend, the one in the back, is totally unharmed.
How is he within 60 feet?
Yes, they're probably only like 20 feet away from you right now.
Oh, I'll take the perfectly healthy one and try to make him sleep.
All right, you want to attempt to make him sleep.
Which,
Okay, so he needs to make endurance check disadvantage.
yeah.
Alrighty, these guys aren't very endurable.
I would like to interrogate one of them if possible.
Actually, still
Yeah,
passed.
that's partly why he passed.
Yeah, I rolled an 8 and a 6.
My goodness.
So he kind of like toss some fairy dust at him down the hallway, and he kind of like flutters his eyes a couple a little bit, kind of like sways and spin in place, and he kind of shakes it off, and he's like, "What the heck?" In Spanish or whatever.
Alright, then I will expend the Tooth Fairy's turn, because she actually has something she can do, unless all magic is sealed within the cylinder. Toothache to the same guy?
I'll say that I mean, plus the case is damaged, so I'll say that that you can cast spells through it.
Through a
let's
tiny
see.
hole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll crack in the
it's
glass,
just
shove her
another
little
endurance.
finger in there, and pew.
Yeah, it's another endurance check with no disadvantage.
Another endurance check without disadvantage. All right. Let's see. Nope, roll another 6. He passes, albeit barely.
Wow, this guy, he's pretty healthy. He slept before the
Yeah, he
brushed
got a
his
good night's
teeth.
sleep. He had some orange juice and eggs for breakfast. He's feeling good. His teeth perfect. The cartel gives great dental.
Dude, with this guy. Um, well, that's kind of all for me, unless you want to say they equipped her with a bow inside.
I mean, probably not. I
Yeah,
would assume Jamie
so
probably has it on him in like a little case in case needing to let her out. But
all right, then I'll stay behind the door because
A wise move.
yeah, I don't want to get shot.
I'll turn to our bone fairy friend, and I'll ask like, hey, how many did you see out there?
4. Or she'll put up
4 of them.
4 fingers. Yeah. Nyx needs to speak in third person, but 4 fingers, yeah.
okay.
All right. Well,
And I
that
think would speak up and be like, 2 dead, 1 injured, 1 healthy.
that is doable. So,
Alrighty. In that case, it
I'm going
is
to.
the enemy's turns.
Oh wait.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they roll
That is right.
successes on their initiative. I mean, Bostorbrook, they would assume is the greater threat because all they've seen so far besides Bostorbrook is a young woman waving her hands at them, and also like her holding a cylinder with a little smaller woman in it. So,
This is true.
and this is Mexico, so they don't really have like conventional ferries. They wouldn't know what even is.
They wouldn't know what that is.
Yeah, they'd just be like, "Oh, they brought a midget." Okay,
That's a
interesting.
really tiny midget.
A really tiny midget, like a 2-inch tall midget. Um, so in that case, the healthy guy will actually have to roll for the injured dude because he might fall unconscious right now. Nope, we got a 10. My God, both these guys had their Wheaties for breakfast.
They
Apparently,
ate their Wheaties for breakfast this morning.
yeah. So he's still conscious. So he's going to raise his Uzi, and he's going to just fire at Bostorbrook through the wall, basically. So this is 4 shots, all at a -2, all at disadvantage because he has full cover. If he hits any of these shots, I will be shocked.
This guy's just a savant.
Apparently, yeah. I've actually sent you guys like the luckiest pair of assassins west of Mexico City.
Wow.
This is why they should have tuned it down, bro. Lucky Feet is OP.
Well, luckily for Bostorbrook, this guy hit none of the shots, unsurprisingly. With the -1, he got a 1, a 2, a 2, and a 1. So,
Is his gun jammed twice?
no, because I didn't like roll the 1 on the dice. They were all with the minus.
Oh.
Minus is applied.
Okay.
So Beta definitely misses. So he's touched these shots all, fired down the hallway, smack into nothingness, into the wall and stuff. They don't pierce the wall and hit Bostorbrook. Man number 2 is gonna do the same thing. Blind firing, basically. Well, now this guy rolled some 1s. He rolled 2 -1s. He rolled a 2 and a 3. So all of those definitely fail, and his gun has double jammed, which isn't a thing, but it's jammed.
Oof.
So yeah, so these two dudes, healthily wise, they're doing great. Offensive, as bad as it can get. So that's their turn. Up next is Zhu Zhou
Alright.
You're in the bathroom brushing
Well.
your teeth.
Alright. Am I gonna spend like a full 2 minutes on this?
No, are you?
Hey, you know what? Might as
Take
well.
a shower. Take
I
a shower.
think- I'll probably do a little bit of multitasking, like I'll brush my teeth, I'll go back into the room, I'll like sort through my luggage, flip through like Twitter or something.
Okay, so you're just going about your daily morning routine while bullets are whizzing past you?
You know it.
Yeah, bro. You don't?
Literally could not be more nonchalant right now.
I mean, what
Well,
do you
he
expect
could,
from the guy
but-
with 3 sanity?
This is true.
This is true. That's a very good. Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, so yeah, so you spend your turn scrolling through Magic Twitter, which is a thing.
Magic Twitter DMs.
Yeah, because 3 Portland and other Orlands and stuff, they have their own private Magic social media sites. So you got your JPCU standardized smartphone with magical Twitter on it, and you're scrolling through the feed and you see, like the current trends of magician children who are like using magic to pull pranks on people and stuff.
Clickbait pranks
Yeah.
that
so
are
that's
quite
your
obviously faked.
turn, of course. In that case, it is GVH's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna reload my rail lock pistol and then look out the door and take aim
Okay.
at the healthy guy.
Alrighty. So reloading is 1 action. And firing at the healthy man is the second action. Roll that perception check.
That is a crit, my boy.
Alrighty. Let me pull this up. Let's see, 200 to 500 damage, depending on the object put in the gun. I will say this does 3,100 damage, standard. So 3,100 doubled because you got crit.
3d100. 300d. That is 100, 80, and 40.
184. That's 220 doubled to 440. He is killed 4 times over and a little bit extra for good measure. So you just like, you know, lean out and, you know, aye captain, and blow this man's torso apart. Like you know, because this is Chris maybe like a headshot, so you hit him in the head, but you take like his like neck, his chest cavity, all of it with the impact of the gun. So his whole like just cut like a U shape out of his torso with this one shot. Just poof, and the round goes through him and out through like the roof of the building and off in the distance.
Tasty.
So that's your turn. Now it is Battlecock's turn.
The cock of battle.
Battlecock.
Yeah, bro.
All right.
We
Well,
can roll
let's
for
see.
his personality.
All right. 1 to 10, right?
Yes.
7.
So he is a martial arts master.
Cool. Well, does this martial arts master have a line of sight?
He can certainly move into line of sight. I had him stacked up on the door with Boston Brook, so.
All right. Cool. Well, who's in this line of sight with Boston Brook?
3 corpses and a bleeding Mexican man.
All right. I think Battlecock can do this for kicks. You know, he's not in psycho mode, but
Fist of the Tiny Dragon.
people get their due, you know? Where is this ability that I'm looking for? Here we go. Paralysis inducement.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay. So you walk up to him and give me that intelligence.
You mean Battlecock walks up to him?
Yeah, Battlecock walks up to him.
Our beloved mascot.
That is an intelligence check from Battlecock.
Oh my god. Just my luck. 2.
A 2? I don't think he's that
Who
smart.
could have thought that the chicken would get a 2 on an intelligence check?
And he's not that smart.
Hey, he's not just a chicken, right?
he's-
It's disrespectful.
He's an anomalous chicken. He is chicken superior. Unfortunately,
He's not just a chicken, he's a cock.
So, unfortunately, a roll of a 2 does indeed fail. His intelligence.
I thought you were going to say pass.
That'd be terrifying. He'd be as smart as like Boston Brook.
Yeah, bro.
So he just failed that. He did waste the key points, so down from 20 key to 18.
Oh no.
And yes,
A
he
rest
does
in
have
peace.
that much
Key points.
Yeah, Bardock has a ton of key because he's powerful. So.
He is powerful.
Battlecock, he is powerful. So that's Battlecock's turn. Literally wasted. So he just kind of walks out of the
Fantastic.
room, down the hallway, and he kind of like jumps up in the air and flaps his wings and tries to like kick this guy in his like liver and stuff. It doesn't work. The man is very confused about the chicken attacking him right now. He's like, what the heck? Weaponized chicken. In that case, back return order. It is the fairies.
Holy hell! Oh my God, the fairies just. So who's alive?
One man.
Oh, that man.
Yeah,
Sleep
the
right.
man that I want to interrogate.
Sleep right now. Toothache at the same time. Triple endurance check.
Well, the sleep is on cooldown. I'm afraid, at least for
Oh.
you. Does you not have sleep?
No,
No.
you didn't give her sleep. You just gave her toothache. I think.
So both of those things are also on cooldown. I'm afraid. Both
Alright. So,
toothache and
how far away is this man from you?
he be 15 feet.
I walk up to he be 15 feet,
Okay.
and I look at him, non-menacingly, as the cute woman I am, and proceed to choke him.
Okay.
Wait, is this the man with 40 health left?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh.
for fuck's sake.
Oh.
You do non-lethal damage.
Yeah, I can do non-lethal damage.
So this is a
Why?
grapple check.
He's already at 40 health.
Bring him down to negative
choked
10. It's fine. Instantly
Yeah. I knocked him out, you know? Oh, wait, can I knock him out due to fear?
No, but you could just make
He's
another melee attack against him, and if you hit him, then he goes unconscious.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Then he can actually dodge this as you walk up and try to deck him in the schnoz. So he will attempt to do so. He had a 3, so no, you hit him. I wouldn't even have you roll damage. You just walk up, and as he's bleeding from a stomach wound, he tries to hold up his Mac 10 towards you. You just walk up, just kind of like smack out of his hand, and you just like elbow to the temple, and he just falls like a sack of potatoes, just collapses to the ground. Combat is over.
Now I have one thing. Oh, yes. Okay, so what I do is those 3 dead bodies, I drag them into my room, and I steal their bones.
Okay.
Just like that.
Great. Sure.
Like,
And thus...
It begins.
it begins, yes.
So you now have
Oh, and
3 bone mass.
I peek out, by the way, because I'm assuming JVH is walking over to the now unconscious body.
Well, I haven't even left the room yet.
Well,
Oh,
first, what does it look like when you take these guys' bones?
That's a good question.
I would still be in human form. The better question, I don't know how you have it, but what I'm thinking is straight up the most horrific thing, because she chose to make it horrific this time, is they forcefully come out from the skin, blood and all, and then it will disappear into her disguise, and yeah, you know?
Okay, so you just kind of wave your hands, mecha hi, mecha hiney ho, and this full skeleton just like explodes out of these people's bodies, and then like levitates over and is kind of like they kind of like press against Nyx's skin, and when they do that, it's kind of like they're like going into water. Her skin like ripples, and then it's kind of mac and cheese
Understandable.
is kind of absorb into her body, and they're just gone.
And then I'll turn to JVH, and Nyx will go, Nyx will have body after interrogation. Yes?
Maybe.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. And then she'll start.
No backsies.
No facts. Yeah, there are now like 3 horribly like obliterated bodies in your hotel room now. Blood everywhere.
Well, I'm going to have to get a containment crew, but anyway. That's besides the point. Or well, decontamination crew, I should say. But anywho,
Mhm.
time to go do an interrogation.
Yeah. Also, if I mute, because I'm grabbing my stuff.
Hmm.
Mm.
Well, I think now would be the perfect time for me to, I finished up with my routine. I got all my stuff packed. I walk out the door and I'm like, what's up? Where are we heading for breakfast?
Nice of you to join us.
What
Nah,
did I miss something?
You know what? No, you
I
miss
think
nothing at all.
Ostenbrook pulls out a cigar and begins smoking the cigar.
Where did you even? You know what? I'm done asking questions.
You're like, what? You think I wouldn't pack some cigars in my luggage?
Yes, I did think that.
Well, you underestimate my power.
You're right, I do. For good reason.
He blows a smoke ring in the cigar that looks like a middle finger.
Good to know. Alright, well, I guess I'll go over to the unconscious man now. Like, come on, hey, get up. I was
Just
like,
walk up
slap
to
him
this guy
awake.
with like his like temples bleeding from where the bone fairy just clocked him, and just kind of walk up and like kick him with your foot a couple times, and he's like,
Come on, do something.
and he
Uh,
comes to.
I will now, pick him up by the collar and, at, like, shake him awake. And, in Spanish, I'll be like, who sent you here? And why?
Okay, make me a strength check. That's what you use for intimidation.
Right. That is an 8, good sir.
An 8. Okay. Yeah. So you pick him up by the collar, you shake him, and you're like, all right, buddy, who sent you? Why are you here? In Spanish, and he replies, of course, in Spanish. And he's like, oh, the boss, sent
More
us to him.
detail before I let the bone fairy steal your femur.
And he looks over at the normal woman covered in blood now, because those bones were also covered in blood, and he doesn't. You see that he has no idea what a bone fairy is, but he's still terrified of the concept. And he's like, oh, the boss, the Don, head of the,
I'm going to
head of the
ask you
cartel.
one more time before your femur is gone.
Well, that's like Patron or Jefe, whatever is their title for the head of the cartel.
I want a name.
Juan.
Very funny. I will have Nix come over, and I'll turn to Nix and be like, all right, steal his femur.
what?
Steal his femur.
Oh, instantly she does it.
So you just call over this woman and you're like, take his femur, and he's like, what? And she just like snaps her fingers, and his femur just slips out of his doesn't even break the skin. It just like floats out of his leg and into her hand, and he's like, ah, my god, my femur.
Now, we're gonna try this again. Or next is your tibia.
He's just screaming in pain.
Tell me why you were sent here. And I don't want any smart answers.
He's like, I don't know why we were sent here.
I want to hear the truth.
We were just told there were some guys that stayed at this hotel in these rooms, and they were looking into stuff they shouldn't be looking into. They were talking some stuff. I don't know who you guys are. I'm just here to do a job, man.
All right. Well, now what you're going to do is take me to your boss.
And he's like, OMG. Sure.
Good. Glad we have an understanding. I'll call over Boston Brook and be like, all right, take his gun.
And Boss Brook, he's been standing behind you the whole time, smoking his cigar. And he just kind of is like, all right. And he leans over and he picks up the MAC-10 and he, holsters his fancy silver pistol. Because of course it's silver, and the silver bullets that are in it. And he, he kind of checks the gun over and stuff, looks it over. He's like, it's not magic or anything, no fancy bullets, just a normal gun. These guys probably had no idea you even had magic, to be honest.
Good to know.
By the way, how much I get for that femur?
With a femur, nothing, because you need a whole skeleton in order to get a bone mass. So you can eat it for sustenance, but the 3 skeletons do give you 3 bone mass in total. So.
I see.
Well, you're going to be getting this guy's skeleton soon, so.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're going to be getting this guy's skeleton and his boss's skeleton, so.
I hope so. Let me tell you.
Because I have no intention of leaving his boss alive.
Oh,
All right, well,
wow.
off we go.
All right. So you guys walk downstairs, into like the lobby of the bar and stuff. It isn't even open yet because it's still like literally just coming up to sunrise, like 4 in the morning. And you just are you like keeping this guy because he can't walk anymore now that he's missing a femur, so.
Yeah, I'm keeping him up.
Okay. So yeah, you're kind of like hoisting him over your shoulder, basically.
I'm essentially carrying him.
Yeah. You can make me a perception check at disadvantage. Who else would be near this guy? That would be looking at him.
Can we get our guide out here, by the way?
Yeah, if you want, you can have.
That is a 6 on the perception check.
Okay. I don't think X would be paying attention enough to notice this, so that's fine. Okay, you get a 6. So you basically are carrying this guy down the stairs. You get to the bar on the first floor, and you feel on the back of this dude's neck like a warmth. And at first it feels like it's just him bleeding all over me because this man is mortally injured. And then it kind of keeps getting hotter, and you're like, I don't think that's blood. It seems a bit too warm to be blood.
You're gonna kill him off, aren't you? A little bit of off-screen dialogue, like out of character dialogue. You're gonna kill him off. I know that. I know that much.
Maybe I won't. Who knows?
All right. Yeah, I'll look and see what it is.
Okay, you kind of lean, peek your head underneath, sit him down for a second, and he's like, "Oh, what the heck are you doing?" Whatever, and you kind of brush his hair to the side, and there is a kind of glowing scar on the back of his neck. You don't recognize, like there are like a dozen spellcasting languages that exist. There's like cosmic binary, there's Old English, Latin, Sumerian, all kinds of different languages. This looks less like a rune and more like a hieroglyph or like a pictograph. And it's a scar on the back of his neck, and it is glowing bright, sickly green.
Oh.
And there is like
sick nasty.
They're like reptile scales that are expanding down his neck and down his back, from emanating from the rune.
Can I give him one of those anti-memetic shots?
I mean, you can. That'll just wipe his memory.
No, it's not amnestics. It's anti-memetic. So like memetic hazards.
Yeah, which are mind hazards. Mimesis' memories.
I guess. All right. Well, can I dispel it?
Good question. Let me see. Let me look at what you've got for anti-mage stuff. Now you have like spell count. You have counter spell. This isn't a spell that you can see. Like it says
Can I
it's
cast a
rune.
purification?
I mean, you know that generally the best way to get rid of a rune is to just like disturb the shape, because the shape is what concentrates the magic.
Yeah.
So you can just like cut him again, and
All
that's
right.
usually what
Yeah.
fixes that sort of thing.
Because I want this guy as a witness and to lead me to his boss. And if his boss is doing this, I'm not going to give his boss the chance to kill his own man.
All right, let me get a sheet up real quick. Who do I want? No, I don't think I can have either of these because those are a bit too wacky. So I will use this one instead. Sure. So you take out like a little pocket knife or whatever that you've got on you. I'll say that somebody has it. And you just and he's like, oh, what the heck are you doing? I'm doing what you want me to. As his scales continue to grow across his body. And you just kind of try not to like sever his brainstem. You just kind of like slash across break the skin, but not enough to actually like impale him,
Yeah.
Flesh wound basically. And you carve up the rune, and you slash across back with it, and you're like, God, what the heck, man? And you do break the pictograph, and the glow, like, it kind of like pops a little bit, like flashes, and then it kind of fizzles away into like reddish smoke, like reddish green smoke, and the scales stop growing. But you do see now where you cut him, little tiny teeth grow from the edges of the cut, and the cut transforms into like a little mouth. It's kind of.
Well, now you have another mouth.
Guy's like, what?
You heard me.
And he's like, what, huh?
Well, something was trying to transform you or something or other. I don't know.
And he's like, I don't know, man.
Well, anyway, on to your boss.
So you just kind of pick him up again, and Boss calls Ramon over, and Ramon brings his jeep, and Ramon sees this dude who's bleeding all over the place, missing part of his leg, second mouth on the back of his neck, and he's like, Jesus, what happened?
Yeah. Things. We got attacked this morning.
I think Yuna's gonna be like, he fell down some stairs.
It was the draft.
It was the draft. It's like, oh, see, of course, the draft. And he's like, yes, your handler told me not to ask too many questions. And so much like, just get in the car. Where are we off to, gentlemen?
I'll give him a firm slap across the face. Where are we going? Tell the alligator man.
And the dude, you smack him, and he's like, eh. And he gives Ramon like a set of directions, basically, outside of the village, you assume. And Ramon's like, oh, yeah, I know that place. That's I was gonna take you guys there today anyway. It's where you guys wanted to go check out the cartel lead that I know about.
Yeah, well, apparently this guy's boss tried to get a hit on us. So,
And Ramon's like, I'm not surprised people around here talk. Nobody trusts the gringos. And he,
yeah.
puts turns the Jeep on and stuff, and he's like, all right, well, everybody clamber in. Make room for the crippled man.
Hey, shout out to my Dunkin' Donuts I just went to. They are understaffed. Woo. Woo. Hold on, guys.
Eggs. Or the Bone Fairies are at a Dunkin' Donuts right now, apparently.
Very
Yeah,
Damn.
teleport across the world, get Dunkin' Donuts, teleport back.
don't worry. I got you some drinks. You know, two large hot caramel coffees. You know, a frozen coffee, and whoever wants a frozen
Mocha
chocolate.
frappe.
Oh, no, I didn't get that. I didn't get that. Here.
Wow.
So where are we going?
We're going to a cartel hideout.
Oh, sick. I hope those guys don't have good dental. You know.
Of course.
All right. Well, when we get there, Nix, you can have this guy's bones.
I think Nyx will look at the guy, right, and just smile, you know, wave, wink, and then proceed to look dead inside as she looks forward. I said, hold on to the drinks, Chris.
Okay, well, the guy
Yeah,
doesn't know what you guys are talking about. He can't speak English. So he's really, really uncomfortable.
I'll turn to him and I'll be like, in Spanish, when we get to your boss, I'm going to have this nice lady debone you in front of him.
And he's like, oh, come on, man, what the heck? I didn't do anything wrong. You know, I'm helping you guys
Yes,
out.
you did.
What do you mean
You
nobody even
objectively
got hurt?
did something wrong.
What do you mean? Nobody even got injured.
You literally shot up a hotel.
Totally harmless. Victimless crime.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
Like, but I'm helping you guys out. You know, doesn't that give me a
That
consolation
means
prize?
nothing to me. The consolation is that it will be a quick and painless death.
Oh, I could make it painful if you wanted.
I think
Keep that in mind. We may use that.
Nyx is gonna sneeze, even though she can't speak Spanish. She's gonna sneeze a bit. You know, at hearing a quick and painful death, she's like, huh? Quick and painful.
Quick pain.
Quick and painful.
In Spanish, but Vic will like lean back from the shotgun in the jeep, and I'll be like, or I could give you a paper cut with my sword, and it'll cut you in half over the span of a couple of minutes. Very painful.
Can you make it a couple of years?
Dude, that sounds like it'd be sick to watch. You know, kind of like a flower blooming. You know.
That's an accurate description. Yes.
I love it how we're just sitting here telling this guy how the
the
multiple
different
ways
ways.
that we can kill him are.
Yeah, and Boss Bug's like, or my friend, I am an archmage. I could always send you literally to hell. I could literally teleport you to the afterlife right now.
True. That is very true.
And then Boston Book, he pops another thing like a breath of cigar smoke, and it forms like the shape of like a hellish landscape with people like burning and stuff.
I'm like, oh damn! If only I had a cigar. Things I could do.
Boston Brook reaches into his coat and he produces another cigar.
What?
You might as well give this guy one anyway, or one too.
Boston's like, this.
It's not like
this
he's
guy,
gonna be alive long enough.
This guy's not deserving of my fine Italian cigar. Let's give him a cigarette instead. And he reaches into his jacket and he pulls out a normal
Fair
cigarette.
enough. I'll put the blindfold on him.
Okay, so you blindfold this guy.
We're going full cartoon trope here.
Full
Are you gonna?
Oh my
cartoon.
god!
Are we gonna light a cigarette for him, but then actually put it on his skin? No.
Wait, what?
I was going more the torture route, burning him.
That can be arranged.
I mean, that's what was being insinuated.
Oh.
But yeah, so you guys, the car starts. You all begin your drive, harassing this guy, telling him all the various ways that you guys could possibly do him physical harm. Given that there are like, 2 archmages and a pyromancer and a bone fairy here, and possibly Battlecock is also magic. And Ramon is actually just a crocodile man, so Ramon could be like, "I'll eat your hand, bro." Don't think I won't. I like to, human taste is gross, but I'll do it for these guys. And it takes you guys a couple of hours to get to, of driving through the jungle. Most of it is also not using roads. It's all like vaguely cut dirt paths through the jungle, and you guys travel along these roads or paths, I guess. I have to find the map for the hideout because there are 2. This is what I want. So you guys are pulling up from the south, in case you're wondering, from the area of 2 and 1.
Okay. 1 moment.
So you guys pull up, probably like 50 yards away. Ramon turns the car off and stuff. He's like, "All right, gentlemen, here we are." And he's like, I would recommend. Are you guys just gonna open fire or something, or do you want to talk to people first?
No.
Or...
We're gonna talk to this boss guy. We're gonna ask him why he dared to open fire on us. Which was, in my opinion, in bad taste, 1, and 2, a terrible idea because now he has brought our wrath upon him. And 3, we're gonna get information out of him painfully and slowly.
Everyone's like, "All right, well, if you're gonna, want to go down the talking route first, then, I will introduce you all. They know of me, so they won't immediately shoot you guys if they see that I'm here. So let me do the talking, and, when you decide that it's time to debone the man or whatever you want to do to these people, give me the signal or something."
Yeah, sure.
It's like, all right, and he reaches into the glove box of the Jeep, and he pulls out a 44 Magnum revolver that he shoves into an underarm holster, and he
Nice.
puts this huge Bowie knife, like machete, in a sheath on his hip, and he's like, "All right, everybody, come on," and he gets out of the Jeep and begins walking down this path.
I'll follow.
All right, so you all, walking the path, and you all approach a kind of clearing in the jungle here, that being, areas 1, basically, and you see this kind of relatively, I guess probably is like a small house, probably only like 30 feet wide by like 25, 30 feet deep. Small, like, not like a log cabin, but like a wooden shack, basically. A rickety wooden door on the front. There's no people around. No noise, no sounds, no guards. Just this building you guys can see, and then the kind of clearing around it. And Ramon walks up to the door, and he kind of looks around, listens. He's like, "There are usually guards posted here."
Interesting.
I guess I'll turn to the others and be like, "Ooh, this seems a tad out of place. Should we be expecting trouble?"
Ramon draws his revolver, and then Bosterbrook draws his 1911.
I'll draw my sword.
Ramon's like,
We're drawing? I'll draw my gun too, to be part of the boys, you know?
"Oh yeah."
Ha. Nice.
So yeah, so we're all, you all unsheath your various weapons. Except Bone Fairy, who doesn't need to because she is a weapon.
X gets into his prime snapping position.
Well, he has a magic revolver. That's
That is
has
true.
like magical lenses and stuff. In Battlecock, he assumes Kung Fu stance number 83. So yeah, so you guys can look around. You don't hear anything. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. You don't no blood anywhere. No corpses. No. Just silence, mud, trees. There's a well off to the right of the building. That's what number 1 is a well. You do notice on the well, there is like the wooden like frame on the top with like the coil of rope that you let the bucket down in. But the rope appears to have been snapped, and there's no bucket you can see. It's just a cut rope hanging from.
I'm gonna look into the well.
Okay, you look into the well. It's dark. I forget if you have night vision or not. Let me look.
I don't know.
You don't. Good to know. So you don't see anything. It's just down at the darkness.
Anybody got a flashlight?
I mean, I've
Ramon
got,
probably would. The
you know,
fire.
the hobo's flashlight.
Yeah. You know what? I'm
Fireball.
gonna have X just drop like a little ember into the pit, into the well.
Okay, so X does its ultimate erasure and belly flops into the well, setting off a nuclear explosion that erases Mexico.
Nice.
Campaign over. So yes, I mean you guys can find like a stick or something to light on fire and just drop into
Yeah.
the well. So you do so. Make me a perception check, 2 of you.
All right. That is a 7.
Alrighty, Mr. Javier.
Oh, a natty?
Oh, okay. So with a natty, you drop this burning stick down the well. You catch immediately, dancing in the shadows as the flame falls past. There are a great number of sizable claw marks on the stones on the inside of the well. Like huge, not huge, but like deep gashes and scrape marks and stuff like that. With a 10, you notice that when the stick hits the bottom of the well, first of all, the well is dry, which is another point. Second of all, there is no bucket at the bottom of the well, no rope either. But the ground is disturbed, so it's not like flat or anything. It looks like, all churned up and stuff. And JVH, you also see the claw marks.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to this guy and be like, "You're sure this is where your boss is?"
He's like, see, he was here a couple of days ago when I left.
A couple of days ago.
You're like, well, yeah.
A couple of days ago.
See,
So you haven't seen your boss since.
like I haven't been back since.
And a couple of days ago is when he gave you these orders?
Yes.
That makes no sense. We only just got here yesterday.
I was like, well, I was told to come to the village and wait around to see if anybody came looking or asking questions. And you guys arrived and you started asking questions. So I told my boss, and he was like, "Come and kill them all."
Huh. Well, I guess we don't need you anymore.
Okay, so Nix gets his bones then.
Um, Well, actually, you know what? We'll keep him alive until we search the main facility.
Okay.
And if no one's inside, then he's going to die.
Alrighty, let me get back to my notes. So, you guys are all standing around area numero uno. At this point, you guys can see more of the area. You do firstly notice there is a hole in the wall, area 4, where it looks like the wall's been blown out. You also notice area 9 is what used to be like a shed or something, like a big shed that has been destroyed, burned, or blown up or something, totally leveled. But you also notice the second building, bigger building, some kind of warehouse, you figure, has had its back wall collapsed, so the roof has caved in and like fallen and like slid off of its postings.
Ominous. But well, we press on.
Where are you guys gonna look?
Go inside the buildings.
All right, who's going in what building and what number?
I will go into building. So we were just at 9, correct? Or no, we were just at 1.
Yeah, you're all.
I'll go into number 2. I
Okay.
don't know if anybody else wants to join me.
I'll say that. I guess it depends on where everybody else is going. Are you guys gonna sit together as you investigate this, or do you guys want to split up and you know?
I mean, we can stick together. If anybody else wants.
All right. Well,
That is very, very much doable.
All right, so you all walk into the first building, area number 2. This is a kind of like living room, kitchenette area, medium-sized room, a kitchen, a small living room with like a couch and a sofa, a coffee table, radio, TV, very old radio and beaten up TV.
Okay.
Nothing out of the ordinary. There's no there are like old cigarettes in the ashtray. There's some food on the kitchen that is a couple days old. Looks like it was being made and never got finished being made.
Hey, Boston Brook.
And he turns around and he's like, "Yes."
Perchance, the last time you were in Mexico, what kind of supernatural creatures did you encounter?
When I was asked in Mexico, well, my history with the area includes chupacabras. There was that one time with the stone golem of Quetzalcoatl, the dragon golem that I had to fight. There was... What else was there? There was El Dorado. Don't go there. Just don't. Bad idea. Full of traps. What else has been around here? I mean, there are some, lizard folk. Some strange... The lizard folk, you see, when they... no offense, Ramon. And Ramon's like, none taken. But like, when lizard folk, some of them have degenerated to the point of being more like dinosaurs than sentient humanoids. So some of them can be quite monstrous. There are also some mutant types of animals down here. Mutant crocodiles, mutant alligators, mutant snakes, giant snakes, stuff like that. In terms of anything that would cause the kind of structural damage seen here, nothing short of like a golem or something, I think. We have to be pretty serious.
Well, there are claw marks in the well.
You're like, oh, well, then that would imply either some kind of water-based monster or some kind of amphibious monster, some kind of underground monster, maybe. Be very careful where you step, gentlemen. And Busterberg begins like vigorously looking over the floorboards. So I'm gonna have him make a perception check to look at the floor. Get an 8. So he began looking over the floorboards. The full floor in here is wood, just straight up wood floorboards, raised up off of the like swamp ground, the jungle floor. He began looking around, moving furniture, checking underneath things. None of the floor in here appears to be disturbed. Must be like, I have to keep looking around, but my current idea is either it was some kind of amphibious monster or water-based, maybe some kind of mutant crocodile or giant serpent, or like a big worm. Although I don't think worms have claws, so
Agreed.
maybe it was a chupacabra. They usually aren't in jungles, though. They're usually more of a desert inhabitant, but
Well,
knows?
I mean, let's be honest. It's got claws, we know that. So it's probably a chupacabra.
yeah, that's yeah. So keep our minds open, keep your ears and eyes open as well. Look for floorboards, look for holes in the ground or anything else like that. Try to narrow down this search a bit, shall we? And he continued looking around the area.
All right, yeah. I'll start looking as well.
All right. What room's off to now?
Um, I'll go into room number 4 if we haven't already looked in there.
All right, room number 4. Room number 4 is a pretty small room. You walk in through the door from 2, and there's a door across the way that leads outside. Next to the door that leads outside, there's a big hole in the wall. It's probably like 2 or 3 feet high, 3-4 feet wide. Big enough for a person to crawl through, certainly. But this room 4 appears to have been just some kind of generic storage room. There are some wooden crates against the walls, some sacks of food. A lot of the crates have been smashed open, and the food in them has been like partially eaten or like thrown around the place. The sacks have been torn open. All the rice and stuff has been chucked everywhere. A lot of it seems to have been partially consumed as well.
See.
Bosbrook, he walks in, sees all this stuff, and he's like, well, I think this supports the idea that there's certainly an animal that did this. I don't think humans would walk into a storage room and smash the crates up to eat the raw, uncooked rice in the bags, so...
Fair point. Is there any trace of magic around here?
Any trace of magic? No. No, there is not.
No magic.
Nope.
Alright, well, fair enough.
So,
Alright, well. Can I check what's in the crates?
yeah, it's all kind of like food, so like uncooked rice, beans, salted meats, venison and pork and stuff like that. A lot of
The
chicken.
bone lives.
What ingredients are mostly eaten?
The meat, for sure.
Well, either it could be a werewolf, or, as you said, a chupacabra. But why was a chupacabra in the well?
That's a very good point, actually. I don't think there aren't many monsters that dwell in wells. I mean, there are some, don't get me wrong, of course, but
Well,
Chupacabra,
yes.
chupacabras, I would say this: they are burrowing creatures. They do make nests underground, and if a well is dry, like that one is, then they could use that to be like, a very nice doorstep for me, and they might make their nest down there. But it was also caved in, so maybe there used to be a nest down there, but it used to be a well. And he seems very like, he's very,
Confused.
Perplexed.
yeah,
I think
The
yeah,
facts aren't adding up.
yes, something is weird here.
Yuna will speak up, and Yuna will be like, well, what if there is a chupacabra that was here, and their escape was the dried up well, meaning the people that were here, and it followed them down there, and explosions this or cave in that, gunfire that, maybe not even gunfire, you know?
Hmm.
Well, that's
I
a good
mean,
point. You just haven't seen any like spent shell casings anywhere. You've not seen any bullet holes.
Hmm. All right. Well, no time to delay. Into room number 5.
Alrighty. Room 5 is a small but well furnished bedroom, likely for the hideout's boss, you would assume. The bed has been tossed around. The sheets are haphazardly strewn around, half lying off the bed. The pillow is tossed around the place. Also, the bed's covered in blood, with a trail of blood leading through a large smashed hole in the wall, the debris of which implicates that something smashed inside of the room from outside. And then, out again. The blood trail leads outside and away from the building, down towards the river that's up to the northwest of the clearing.
Hmm.
Yeah, small bedroom. There are bullet holes in the walls and stuff. A couple of spent shell casings on the bed, on the floor nearby. A lot of blood.
Hmm. All
a
right.
lot
Well,
spent shell casings.
A couple, yeah.
I think Yuna will order next to follow the shell casings, see if they lead a trail somewhere, or it was all dumped in one position.
They are scattered around the bed and the side of the room where the hole is. So you imagine whatever grabbed him, bit him real hard, thrashed him around. He grabbed a gun, shot at it or something a couple times, and then was shooting as it dragged him out of the building.
Oh, those classic moments.
hmm.
Well, if that's the case, I think Yuna will tell next to see if the casings lead outside and how far they lead. If there's a gun that was dropped, the blood trail, the bone trail, even you should do that.
Bones.
I
Bone
think
tool.
instead of blood vision, it's bone vision. She sees a perfect outline of people.
It'd be so cool. You'd be
Wow,
like a great
actual
cop.
X-ray vision.
Yeah, straight up extravision. You could be like, why does that random house have a dozen skeletons burned under the garden? you know?
Oh my god, yes. I think we'll talk after session. Anyways, but yeah, that's what
Okay.
she'll tell next to do.
You can make me a perception check.
Sure.
As for the rest of you, while you're looking around, Bosterbrick walks in. He sees all this, and he's like, well, this was definitely no chupacabra that I've known of. They aren't quite strong enough to bust a hole in a... Well, they are, but they don't. They usually, they're known for scratching at windows, climbing on roofs, attacking you as you come out of your house, but they won't break into your house unless there is something they want, like really want. And they usually go through the windows, not the walls, because they usually aren't strong enough to punch through, like solid wooden block.
Hmm.
And they also aren't smart enough to drag the body away. They would just, it would still be here. They'd be partially eaten, torn to ribbons, but it wouldn't. They're not like scavengers. They're savages. They just kill and leave.
Kill and leave.
Yes.
I see. Also, I got a 10, but I see.
Great. The only time that I've ever known of, and also, they're blood suckers. They don't like, I mean, they do like shred you, but they suck the blood. They usually don't leave very much behind in terms of blood. This is the opposite. No body, a lot of blood. And he's like, the only time I've ever known chupacabras to steal bodies is when there were a lot of chupacabras. Too many for them to feed on their own. You know, there were like elderly chupacabras, babies they needed to take care of. So either there's a large nest somewhere around here, or it isn't a chupacabra at all. With a 10, you see that these shell casings lead. Oh, let me get my map. Lead out of 5 towards that kind of like gray area on the map, which is water. It's all swamp. It probably leads like 10-15 feet outside into the mud before there is just a like M9 Beretta lying half covered, half buried in the mud. The blood trail continues all the way up to the water line. And you being a bone fairy with your bone vision, you can see that there is a corpse, like near, like in like part in the water, buried in the mud and stuff like that.
I think Nyx will convey the message to Una, and then Una will be like, I think she'll whistle instead of just calling everyone by name. She'll just like whistle, and then Nyx will like point towards the body while also walking towards it. Is it visible, or I can only see it because I see bones?
Well, it's concealed by like the
The
tall
water
grass
and
stuff in the
whatnot?
water. But if you know what you're looking for, you could probably see parts of it.
Well, yeah, I think you would be like, we found the body, and then proceed to, I think, look around to see if anything is stalking the dead body like a trap, and if we don't feel that kind of like prey predator feeling, they'll go and look at the body itself.
Okay, you can make me another perception check to see if you're being stalked. As for the rest of you, do you guys heed the fairy's call?
Yeah.
An 8.
You look around. You don't see any sign of anything. The water in the swamp and stuff is totally undisturbed. You don't get the feeling that you're being like this is a trap at the very least. You guys walk up, and I can describe to you what the body is. A brutalized corpse is half submerged in the water, hidden by reeds and tall grass. It has several massive bite and claw marks across the face and torso. It is missing its right arm from the elbow down, and seems to have over a dozen broken bones all on its left side of its body. Its arm, its leg, the skull is shattered on the left side. The eye is destroyed. Rib cage obliterated. It looks like barely recognizable as a human person.
Okay.
It's mangled and like half.
Can the cartel guy still see this? Like, is he
you take the
still like?
blindfold off of him?
Yeah.
Then he's like, "Oh my god, that's the boss. Oh jeez, oh jeez, Rick.
Well, care to tell me what was in the well?
Like I don't know what was in the well, man. It was a well. It we used it to get water.
I don't know. Something about this ain't adding up, and I think it's you, Jose.
And your boss walks up, sees the body, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no chupacabra does that. I should know.
Well,
I'm attacked by them."
what's impartial to water can burrow, or at least to our knowledge can burrow, and can do that.
I'm gonna have Boston Rick make un check intelligente.
Well, he makes
Can
that
I
check.
also make a check?
Sure.
I think Yuna will probably look at this like, huh?
That is a 7. Good
Okay.
sir.
So you are less experienced with animals. You're more experienced with magic and like the anomalous.
Correct.
So you would figure, given the combination of traits that this whatever has attacked these people is expressing, it doesn't sound natural. Its behavior of killing this guy, dragging him outside on purpose, leaving him half in the water, coming out of the well, like, so apparently, from what you would assume, ambushing these guys. This is like the killings appear to be animalistic, but there's forethought here. There's intelligence here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bosserbrook, he is more experienced with fighting actual monsters and their behavior. So he's like, well, and he kind of kneels over and he drags the guy's corpse out of the water a little bit so you all can see it better, and it is disgusting. But the cartel guy vomits seeing this. It's also 2 days old, so that's even more gross. Covered in maggots, covered in mosquito bites, stuff like that. It's awful. So Bosserbrook, he drags it out of the water and he like kneels down and he takes out like a pocket knife and begins like poking it and prodding it on the left side where the bones have been destroyed. And he's like, well, the wounds on this left side indicate a tremendous force and a powerful impact. And the fact that the right arm is missing from the elbow down, this looks like a crocodile attack. But I don't think a crocodile could thrash a human being around hard enough to shatter every bone on the left side of the body. So, that's not good. And the bringing it to the water side, that also kind of lines up with the crocodile. But the burrowing doesn't, nor does the climbing out of a well. Crocodiles can't do that. So,
A
Lizard
magic
folk?
crocodile?
I'm like, ooh, lizard folk. Now that could be. And he starts like mumbling to himself, stroking his beard and being like, yes, what a curious proposition. And he's like, well, I suppose, they aren't known for burrowing.
So we're gonna go with lizard folk then.
Well, they don't burrow. I mean, the claws, the biting, that works.
But what if it doesn't need to burrow because magic exists? Therefore, it could pretend to be something else while hiding what it really is.
So Bosserbrook is kind of like, so you're saying that there's a magic lizard folk who can polymorph into a worm.
What? No.
I just
genius.
don't think.
The Alaskan bullworm moved up to Mexico.
Bullworm.
Yes.
My
No,
God.
what I'm saying, I think would be the one talking because I'll be honest. I think Nyx right now is trying to assess how much to see how much bones she need because this isn't a complete skeleton. Therefore, she needs to start picking off someone else that has a quarter. Regardless, she's doing the math
Well,
for
you have
bones
the
right now.
femur. You have the femur and this other guy that I'm
Yeah.
going to give you.
Get this dude.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you essentially have 2 full skeletons.
Well, he's missing an arm.
He's missing an arm.
You have essentially
Mostly.
2 full skeletons.
Yeah, but regardless, though, I think will be like, no, I think whatever attacked, if it's not a creature that can do everything we said, then it's a sentient creature that can mold Earth and knows about other, what's the word I'm looking for? Other monsters here and make it look like they never attacked. They wouldn't get suspected if that is the case, you know? If I want to make it look like a chupacabra, I do something to make it look like that. But obviously it's not, like you said.
Bosserbrook's like,
Fair enough point.
that's a good point. So a lizard folk with mold earth decides to ambush a bunch of cartel members and destroy their corpses, trying to frame an alligator?
Well,
like they would have to be a really poor frame job
oh yeah.
because they're
Well,
punching holes in walls.
I think the next thing you could probably ask is the guy we have and say, what the hell did you do to the environment around? And what other operations did you do to anger any creature? Because you just don't attack the cartel for no reason. Well, I mean, they got bones, so Nyx has a reason, regardless if they do so. Regardless, though, and they have teeth.
Okay.
And then she like cuts off, stop thinking, and then she tells Nyx to open the guy's mouth to see his teeth.
Oh, the dead guy.
Yeah.
His teeth are, some of them are on the left side are banged up, knocked out of his mouth, but the ones on the right side, pretty good.
Oh yeah, these guys have good dental.
They do. Okay, so Foster returns to the cartel guy that's still alive, Juan, or Jose or whatever, not Jose, and
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, so Mr. Not Jose, yeah, what, answer to the Tooth Fairy. Did you
What do?
What have you like annoyed a druid or something? And Not Jose is like, I don't know, man. And he kind of like thinks to himself, and he's like, we've not, we have this clearing here. It's in a swamp. I mean, we deal with the lizard folk. We sell drugs to them, and they.
Why
help
am I
farm
not
drugs.
buying this?
And it's like, but now that you mentioned it, there was this kind of weird thing that happened like a week or two ago, I think.
And you're just telling us this now?
And like, well, it looked like an animal.
I think he.
So I didn't.
I mean, kind of like, if he didn't know his boss was dead, then how the hell would he tell us now? I mean, we interrogated him to say, "Where's your boss?" Found his dead boss, and now he's vomiting because he's a freaking wimp.
Anzi.
God.
Yeah,
Anyways.
this group of psychopaths standing in a clearing. This mangled corpse, and this normal guy is like, I don't want to be here, man.
Actually, hold on, wait. Would you not even be able to speak? Because he's speaking Spanish. And as far as
he's speaking Spanish, yes, that's true.
Never mind. They'll just continue.
Well, I assume Boston is translating. How about that?
Oh, okay.
He's a good friend.
Sure.
Boston translates.
Good friend. He sees that we're fairies.
Yeah. Like,
I know something. Yeah. Okay. Well, ask him more about this weird thing he just now remembered.
And Not Jose's like, yeah, okay, so like a couple of weeks ago, week and a half ago, some of the locals from the village, they came by and they were yelling about the earthquakes and something about like the old gods, and kind of creeped us all out. He says, vomiting. Like, so we shoot them away. We do our guns and we harass them until they left. We're all kind of crazy.
So you shot people who said old gods.
We just shot at them in the air and stuff to scare them away because they were being weird. They were all totally crazy.
So you threaten them, technically.
You're like, yeah.
So you threaten people on a technicality.
Like,
okay.
We threatened them to make them go away, man. They were crazy. They were waving sticks around and like chanting and like the end is near and whatever. We were like, get out of here, man.
I don't blame you. Fuck lizard folk. So barbaric. Humans.
Mm-hmm. They were villagers, we assumed anyway. And then they never came back because we figured we scared them off.
Where's this village?
Like the village of Agamanca. You guys just came from there.
Oh. Huh. Well, that's a problem.
Indeed.
You know what? I'm gonna go take his teeth. Next thing, go take his bones. You're the boss, JVH. You got good plans for thinking. I'm gonna go take his teeth.
I do indeed.
And I think Nyx is still gonna rip out this guy's skeleton perfectly.
Good. Do it.
Okay, so
But
you do
she's
that.
not gonna do it like the magic it pops out. No, she's gonna do it like the Predator Mortal Kombat style.
with your
just
bare hands, just.
yeah.
God.
Good. Do it. Kill him.
No, we're
What?
just
No,
the corpse.
not the not that guy. The corpse. We still need him alive. It seems like he has more information.
But you're going to take his bones.
Oh yeah, I'm
The
definitely gonna take his
corpse's
bones.
The corpse's
Yeah,
bones.
I'm gonna-
Take the
I
living
thought you were
guy's
talking
bones
about the
later.
regular guy.
No, the living guy. I'm gonna take his bones once he stops being useful to us.
Fair
I'll
enough.
give you a whole skeleton for this guy because I'll say that you have bone vision. You can just find that guy's arm.
Oh yeah,
So
I searched through the water, even
yeah,
though
you just
it's a
fish out
direct
mangled
path.
arm, and you're like, here it is, guys.
Hmm.
I found it. And you just like swallow it whole. It's-
Jesus. I want to find a picture for what I look like so I can look really weird. Cute, innocent girl eating a whole skeleton.
It's like an edit of the Peter Parker meme where he's like eating the burger
I've never seen it.
Lamau.
from Multiverse or whatever the fuck it is.
Spider-Verse?
Spider-Verse, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I think I know
yes.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that meme. Where
Okay,
he's like
okay.
really going ham on that burger.
But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's a guy's femur.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I have a whole skeleton's worth how much again?
Juan.
Oh, nice. I have 2. Do I have a max cap for that, by the way?
Well, in total, you have 4 bone mass, maximum of 10.
Oh,
Not bad.
not bad. Let me tell you. Ooh. If there was somehow a bunch of dead people that showed up at the village after we came back from this, I would not complain.
A bunch of whole full skeletons just chilling. Front
Mm-hmm.
gates.
Well, let me tell you, if they abandoned their village, that graveyard cleaned out.
Understandable.
K2, the universe of grave robbers.
Actually, wait. Yeah, well, I'll talk about it after. Anyways, so yeah. Any plans, JVH? Una says, well,
We're going to the next building, number 6.
Also, quick question. This cylinder, you said that JVH or Bossabrook is holding the fairy's bow. But does that mean that
I am
only
holding the bow.
does that mean only those 2 and or other like permission staff can unlock this cylinder?
Yes,
Essentially,
GVH
yes.
is the only one in the country that has access to this cylinder. It's a magic item. It's locked
Okay.
on there.
Okay. Okay. Alright.
I mean, Bossabrook probably could open it. He's an archmage and can do it if he wants, but
This is true.
he has no reason to, so he wouldn't. He's like, oh no,
Yeah.
I don't have the key. Even though I can cast this spell, I have to get like 18th level, but it's fine.
It's fine. I know. Yeah. One of these days, I'm gonna use Una's cylinder just to bash someone's skull.
You're like, bro, bludgeon.
I would want nothing more. I would expect nothing less.
To see Nyx just bash someone's head open.
Yes, I
With
want to
Eunice.
see it
With,
now.
with the Tooth Fairy's prison
I was-
cell.
I mean, I already have to repair the cylinder.
Yeah,
'cause
I was
it has
gonna
the
ask.
ricochet.
Yeah, it has the broken glass.
The cylinder is magically protected, so even if there's still like a crack in the glass, like a divot cut in it from when the bullet hit it, it's still together. It's still a functioning cell.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright.
yes, but better to not take chances.
Yes,
Don't
you
worry,
want to have that one
Una-
thing protection in case the spell fails. So,
Yes.
but yeah. Anyway, so you guys head into the next building, the warehouse building, into number 6. Number 6 is a large barracks with a few bunk beds, some lockers against one of the walls. The beds are all disturbed, all tossed around and stuff. There are a few personal items strewn about the place. There's a couple of like guns and stuff, half put together, or like
Where are
mags
we
that are
again?
half packed. We are in room number 6 currently.
Ah, okay.
No blood in here. No blood, no bodies. But it looks like people
Okay.
got up and left in a hurry.
I think you and Nyx are gonna look around to see if there's any footprints that aren't obviously human in nature. You know?
All right, make me a check at disadvantage.
I got a 6.
Okay, so most notably, you notice that the back of the other trail, the trail leading from 5 to the swamp water,
Yeah.
that blood trail it's like this huge long pool of blood, almost an inhuman amount of blood, but it's all pooled up in this like channel, like kind of like a tire mark, but not a tire mark. You know?
It's just pulled up somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's this long, like a tank tread mark in the ground, almost.
Oh, like a literal
Like
divot
patterned
of
divot,
pull
yes.
going somewhere. Yeah.
I
Okay.
know what this is.
And
Okay.
then there is in the
Out
other
of character, I know what this is.
I assure you, you do not. If you get
Oh,
this
I
right,
do.
I would be literally shocked. I
Campaign
would be-
over.
I'll text it to you.
All right, I'll tell you. I doubt
okay.
you're gonna be correct though, because I made this monster up from the wackiest art I could find. So it's weird.
All right, I find that trail.
You find that trail.
Mhm.
Am I correct?
You are incorrect.
Unfortunate.
There are some more hints though that are around that it's
Mhm.
not mole person.
Yeah, that was my guess, mole
Yeah,
person.
mole person, which is a good guess because the whole subterranean burrowing thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
it's
I didn't for one
It's
second think it was a
underground.
mole person.
You're gonna be like, what? you're not gonna be like, Dakota, why did you make this a thing? It's gonna trust me, it'll be so weird. The art for it is ridiculous.
I can imagine.
So yeah,
Okay.
you find that piece of that trail, that kind of indent in the ground,
Mhm.
and then do you look around like the whole place or just the area you guys have already been?
I think I'll look around the whole place because like double check stuff and look more to see if any of us can figure out what this is.
Okay, so you walk around the whole place. You walk around to where Area 9 is, and you see
Mhm.
this large trail of footprints that leads from the collapsed part of the warehouse to this burnt down shack. But the footprints are three-toed, with claws on the end of them. And there are a lot of footprints that are a lot closer together than a normal crocodile's or like alligator's feet should be.
I'm gonna ask our guide, our humble guide, if he knows anything about this.
It's my cousin, man.
It's Raul, man. What's wrong? Yesterday? He got a 3. He's like, no,
Oh, God.
this is weird. I mean, the corpse's symptoms of broken bones and stuff, they kind of match up to, like Osterbrook said, like a crocodile attack, but like a really big crocodile attack or something, really strong crocodile attack. But crocs can't climb walls, so I don't know.
Undead Crocs can. Dun dun.
Undead worm crocodiles.
Boneless crocs can.
Boneless
Yeah.
crocodiles, bro.
Oh God.
Like my crocodile's boneless.
Oh yes, the boneless crocodile. A true delicacy.
It's like
God.
a type of ooze. Gelatinous crocodile.
Okay, so it leads to 9. I'm assuming that there's nothing in 9 but footprints and trails and possible blood, maybe a body or two.
Incorrect. 9
God.
is a burnt down, like, or blown up shack. The footprints reach the floorboards of 9 and just disappear.
Just disappear, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll call over Brooke, JVH, and any of the group members because I'm gonna be searching through, and I'd rather not have whatever the hell attack just randomly sneak up and be like, "Oh no, you're digging through my ashes."
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I'll do that. What I am gonna do is, I guess, somehow clip Yuna to my hip or something, or
Okay.
sure, yeah, why not? And I'll start pushing because you said it was like burnt down, exploded, right? So there's
Yes.
ash and
Yeah, there's
wood
like
collapsed over.
yeah, there's the parts of like some of the walls are like still kind of standing in like chunks and stuff, you know.
Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is assume that the reason the trail is just stop here is because there's an underground to number 9, and I'm gonna start trying to move wood where I think a trapdoor would be. Try to see if the footprints are on ashes or burnt into the floorboards that may or may not still exist.
All right, give me a perception check.
Okay. I got 5.
So you look around. You do find a couple more sets of these close together muddy footprints on the floorboards, and then they actually like disappear. So if you that tells you the footprints are newer than the building blew up. So it blew up first, and then whatever this thing is walked over the floorboards. So it's still like mud and stuff that's not destroyed, not
Okay.
obliterated by the explosion. You
Yeah,
do
that makes sense.
figure out. You do kind of move some of the wooden logs and fallen pieces of furniture that are crumbled to ash in your hands. You do find a trap door that appears to. I mean, it looks like. How do I describe this? It looks like whatever was underneath it blew up, and the fire like shot up from under the trapdoor so vigorously that it melted the trapdoor and like
Yeah, I
the
figured
wall
that
around
was gonna
it.
happen. Okay. Um.
You can open the trapdoor; it still works.
Oh yeah, I was gonna figure out if the door was
Yeah, it's just the edges have been melted and since recooled, basically.
I think I'm gonna open up with caution since there's new footprints, but I'm gonna wait until one of the party members come near. So
Yeah, I'll come in.
All right. Now I can provide
all right.
the full map with the
Bomb.
completed underground section.
Can we get Boston Brook to look at what these footprints are, and maybe he can glean something.
He tells you they look like crocodile footprints. That's just he gets it for free.
Figure.
Fair enough.
They're not crocodile in nature, or they could be maybe a mix of a crocodile thing. Has to be a reptilian thing.
Something to that effect.
It, whatever.
Reptilian origin.
Yeah, or at least a mixture of something. Because let's be honest, legends can be really weird, and it can be a mix of like crocodile bottom, eldritch abomination top. You know.
Crocodile
So,
in the front, business in the back.
oh yeah. So I'm gonna open the door, or the trap door. Gonna look around. I forget if Nyx and or Yuna have any type of night vision or like.
I think Nyx has night vision.
I have
Do
to
you?
see.
No.
I don't
You're
know.
wrong.
I don't think either of them do though.
No,
That's the thing.
no, you don't.
Okay,
Nobody
so
here does. Ramon does actually. I'm pretty sure he has night vision.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna ask Boston Brook. You know, Yuna's gonna be like, can I have a light? please.
And then Fosterbrook, he takes out picks up like a stick and he hands it to X, and X lights it on fire, and you have like a makeshift torch,
Check.
Indiana Jones style.
Burning with hellfire.
Oh yeah. Then
X
Nyx
uses
is gonna.
normal fire, actually, not hellfire.
Oh,
An important distinction.
nice. Nyx is gonna take the improvised torch and shine it down there a bit to see if anything crawls away in the dark and or anything lights up there, before she heads down forward.
So you open the top door, and it is darkness. You take a torch, hold it down there. It looks like there probably is like a 7-foot drop to the ground. It looks like there probably was some kind of ladder here that was melted and destroyed in the explosion. And then the tunnel, there's probably like a little 5-foot by 5-foot landing at the bottom of the 7-foot drop. And then there are like makeshift stairs that go down to the right, and then they turn left and keep going in darkness.
Okay. So I'm gonna go down first because I don't think JVH trusts me enough to go behind him first in a drop downstairs.
Yeah, that is correct.
So yeah, I'm gonna just go first regardless. I'm gonna take the initiative here. I'm gonna see if there's any corpses down here, and if there are none, their bones are probably burnt to death because of how it looks. They got ashy bones,
Barbecue.
barbecued bones,
Barbecue bones.
Barbecue.
I mean,
Okay, so
if
you
they're
guys-
just charred, they're pretty delicious.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, she's gonna go down, and when she drops down, Nyx is gonna stop for a moment and listen to see if there's anything here, because why would there just be footprints freshly,
Okay, so you guys drop down into the little tunnel. This looks like a makeshift tunnel that blew up with quite some force. The tunnel is broken, parts of it have collapsed on itself. The wooden supports are gone, but there are still some metal supports and stuff that partially melted and kept the tunnel up. There are no footprints you can see, no blood you can see, no bodies you can see either, at least in this tunnel. And then at the end of the tunnel, that goes a couple feet, then there are 2 doorways, one on left, one on the right.
I'm gonna ask JVH. Nyx is gonna go. Nyx would like you to watch her back. Look at left. I go right. There, Nyx goes right. Yeah. There's and then she'll peek into 10.
All right, yeah. I'll watch 11.
Alrighty, so you peek into 10. 10 appears to have been some kind of treasury or something. It's full of a bunch of destroyed crates. There are the remnants of huge stacks of burned dollar bills all over the place. Melted plastic wrapping that's kind of fused with the cotton of the bills. There is a what's the word I'm looking for? There is another corpse who's lying against the far wall of this room. He looks burned, but not blown up. Not that burned either. He was kind of cooked a little bit, a little bit slow roasted, Most notably, he has very strange looking marks on his body, like wounds.
I'll call over JVH because I don't think Boston Brook is with us.
No,
Alright,
I
yeah.
assume everybody's together still.
Oh, well, if everyone's together, then I'll call over Boston Brook because seems to be our resident monster hunter.
biological expert.
Yeah, sure. And Nyx is gonna go. Nyx request, Boston Brook. Come, look.
He walks up and he's like, "What do you have for me?"
Then she's gonna point to the markings. She's not gonna move the body just in case it like messes with anything at
Yeah.
first. She's gonna see if there are still bones in this body.
There are.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's at least get a reading on the injury before you
Well,
take.
yeah,
bones.
yeah. No, that's gonna happen first. I take bones after, you know.
So you see the wounds is a kind of like coiled pattern of like it looks like how do I describe this? You know when like a boa constrictor wraps around something and it kind of in like that like helix
There's
coil?
marks it might make, yeah.
Yeah, how they kind of like wrap around like the creature and then they kind of stretch out like they're killing. The wounds look like that kind of coil, like a spiral staircase pattern, basically, around this guy. But it looks like somebody took a cheese grater to him in that pattern.
And did that?
Yeah.
What? So he's filled with holes, but in a spiral going upward.
Yeah, it looks like somebody, like, cheese gratered, like, razor blade, like, shredded him to bits, but only in, like, a 12-inch coil pattern around all up his legs, up his torso, his arms, his head, and then he got burned on top of that. So
What in the world?
yeah, I told you this monster is weird.
What the hell? I don't even know what the hell could make a cheese grater boa constrictor kill like that.
Oh, you're gonna be very intrigued when I reveal what this monster looks like. Well, there are multiple
My-
here actually, but it's in just one type. But
Jesus.
Oh, that's even better.
Fucking cheese grater with crocodile legs. That's what it is.
cheese grater that's a cursed
A
image.
cheese grater with
I
legs.
should Photoshop
Ah,
that.
yes.
Make a cheese grater with legs.
Has googly eyes for eyes, you know?
Yeah, big snout.
Mhm.
And it also breathes fire.
Yeah, also no, it breathes acid.
Oh yeah.
And then for
okay.
VH, you look into room number 11, and this
Yeah.
appears to have been, like, a drug lab or something. You figure.
Tasty.
There are a couple of destroyed tables. It smells very strongly of chemicals and like rubbing alcohol in here. Also, a lot
Well,
like weed.
that could certainly cause the fire.
Yeah. You figure this is a drug lab. It smells like meth and cocaine and weed, and it smells like fire. It's probably blew up.
Sounds about right.
There is,
I
however,
mean-
another door that leads farther in across the room here. That is this door across the way that's unopened is metal, and it's closed still and relatively undamaged.
Time to unsheath my sword. And check number 12.
All right, numero 12, which isn't
Yes,
a
he
word for
does.
it, but this door, you walk up, it's locked.
Can I do a rune of unlocking?
You just say open sesame.
Well,
It's Mexico.
That's like
Well, no, I
the
don't.
knock spell, which is an actual thing in D&D where you knock and
Yeah.
if it's low enough DC lock, then it automatically opens.
Mhm.
You don't have that spell. No, it is Boston
Ah.
Rock spell phrase it a thief. You could get it if you really wanted to. At like in the future.
Is there a visible lock or?
There is, yes.
Okay. Can I attempt to pick it?
Sure.
All right.
Before you roll,
What do I need to do?
To pick it, give me a 1d10, and I roll 1d. It's the same
All
thing
right,
as like a hack DC dice, but it's a lock DC
okay.
dice.
Before I pick it,
Yes, what do you do, Kyle?
Yeah.
you were saying.
I was wondering, since the bone fairy can, mold bones to whatever.
Are
Is
you
it?
gonna make a skeleton key?
I was gonna say. I was gonna say if I can do what I do with the bloodbender that I have and expend a bit of bone to just and then retract it back.
Well, that bone doesn't work like that. I hate to break it to you. You could make a lockpicking set out of bone and use that, but you can't use it to make.
You're also not even in
you
the
know,
same room.
well, that's
No,
true.
I was
But also
wondering.
couldn't, like you
Nah.
can't like make it like mold the key to the lock like it came with blood 'cause it's not liquid, it's a solid bone.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense. That makes
because
sense.
blood is a liquid.
Yeah. You could make a lockpicking set with it though. I
Okay,
guess.
that makes sense. I wasn't
Alright,
asking
well-
like in character. I was just asking out of character.
Yeah.
I'll try and pick this lock.
All right. Well, don't even bother rolling because the lock rolled a 1. So
Oh, sick! Oh, sick! I rolled a 10.
great.
So,
So you just walk up and you're like, and you kind of like get down and you look at it and you take out,
this
you know,
door's not locked.
yeah, you take out a lockpick and you go and you put like a screwdriver or whatever in the lock and the door just opens up by itself and you're like, I could have
Huh.
sworn this was locked.
This was just locked a second ago.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So yeah, you open this door, and the lights aren't on. You've got a torch. I'll say you all, if I'll say that you have a torch, and that I'll say that Yuna and Nyx have torches, a torch.
Sword at the ready.
Yeah.
Well, I have my lighter too, if need be.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you have a magic lighter. You need a torch.
Yeah, I do. Exactly.
Boss has his pistol out, trained at the doorway. Open it up, and it appears to be a metal room, previously used as some kind of an armory. There are gun racks, boxes of ammunition. There are no guns in here, and the ammo has all exploded from the heat. But there is no, you can tell what this room used to be used for.
Any bodies?
No.
No.
No. I will say, something I forgot to mention, back in room number 11, part of the wall was caved in.
How caved?
How caved in?
Like, you know how if you build like a underground, like a basement to a building or something, like the walls will usually stay straight by themselves. You don't only need the supports to keep the roof from caving in on you. This looks like the wall got blown in. Not like the roof didn't collapse. The wall was pushed and like disturbed.
In or out?
From the outside in, obviously. They're just kind of like piled. Probably only like a couple square feet has been messed up. There's like probably like a couple feet of like dirt scattered in like a pile on the ground.
So just so I understand, it looked like something was trying to get into the room or something got out of the room.
Something was getting in.
Yeah, okay, I was right. Fuck, that does mean this creature has a burrow ability or boulders. Or both.
I'll go back into 11 and inspect that collapse part.
Okay. What are you trying to inspect about it?
If there's any like loose stuff, any area that I could possibly look past.
Well, there is no tunnel left, or whatever. If someone did break in through here, it's just like a disturbed part of the wall that's kind of caved in a little bit. Yeah, and it's been blown up, so nothing is left. If there was something here before.
Well, I think Nyx and Yuna will walk over to it. Yuna will look at it and
Make a shovel out of the bones.
what? That's not.
No, I think our investigation is done here. I mean, there's not much else that we can really get from this.
Ooh. I got it. Okay. So with geographical understanding, I'm gonna look at where uh the hole is, right? I'm assuming it's pointing outward, like west, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of the on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Going to go out of it and see if it has a street trail. I mean, that'd be really weird if I got this and it was just a straight trail into that swampy water and see if there was disturbed stuff there.
Okay, give me a perception check at disadvantage.
Sure. A 5.
So you climb back up top, and you look around to the west
Mhm.
of 9, and you do know that you're looking for it. You do see that the ground is a little bit disturbed. It isn't in a straight line. It's in like an S pattern, with the curving back and forth.
Mm.
And it does lead towards the swamp water.
Hmm.
Okay. So it might feel with the whole well thing and whatnot, this thing goes underground first and pops out of places. It does not go above ground and pop out of places, you know? At least that's what it looks like to me. Or no, you said outside it. Yeah. I stick with that. I think this thing goes from water and then pops into things. I also informed the group, I suppose, about it too.
Okay, you do so.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Trying to think of what I could do.
I think you were right. Like after I found the tunnel thing, I think you're right, and our investigation is just done here.
Trying to
We
think of what
have
I can do because it's quite clearly going to be in the water if we're looking at it from an objective standpoint.
hmm well, hmm. I think, I think Yuna and Nyx thinks together that we can either see what is. I can't say see what is west of this place because it did enter from one, or at least it
I
went
have an idea.
somewhere. Yeah, what's your idea?
I'm gonna use my lighter.
Mhm.
I'm going to draw uh magical energy
Mhm.
off of X, stick it underwater, and activate it.
So you
Are
want
you
to
trying
light a
to bait
fire
this thing
underwater?
in?
Well, no, I'm trying to heat up the water and disturb the water to see if I can get a reaction.
Like a lure?
Yes, kind of.
Okay, so lighter is, fire, and it's magical fire, and it's like produces flame, so the flame will go out, but hold there for long enough, you know, it'll do its thing. It'll like heat up a small section of it.
Yeah.
So I will roll. I need to cross-reference this. Actually, yes, it is this one I'm looking for.
By the way, if we were done with that dead body, I would have taken its bones.
Okay.
Of course.
And I will. You have 5 bone mass instead of 4.
Man, one mission, 5 bone mass? Nice.
Where is this? Intelligence. That. Rolled that. Yeah, sure. Okay. So you lean over to where, like, I assume you're going. Are you going to where you think that underground tunnel was and leads out into the water, or are you going back where they found the corpse?
You can try multiple spots if you want.
That is true. I'll start with where the corpse was.
Okay. So you do that with the corpse, walk over. How would this... What do I have at my disposal here? Okay. Okay.
Also, I'd back up JVH. Like, I'm not telling you to back up. I mean, like, I'd support him, you know, just in case something were to pop out. It's bones, if it has any. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah.
have that?
It doesn't have
Well-
bones. I can't do
Well,
anything.
that's the thing is like I'm gonna do it, and then I'm assuming it doesn't take effect right away.
Well, you gonna leave
Yeah,
your
you
lighter
think
then?
it'll take
At
a
all?
couple of minutes to do it.
No, like so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw energy off of X,
Yes.
stick my hand into the water by where the
Yes.
body was, and light the lighter again, dispelling demonic energy in the form of fire.
Okay. I'm still gonna back you up regardless. You know, don't need
Well,
my.
yeah.
You know, you're holding the key and the bow and arrow
Son
for
of
you
a
know. So
gun. The one time he needed to roll, well, I needed to roll good on a check, and I happened to roll a 1.
damn,
Okay.
nothing happens.
No, not nothing. Because the opposite of nothing. So
Oh.
you
Everything
guys,
happens. Everything happens.
The world
Everything
ends.
yeah, the entirety of past, present, and future erupts in a single instant. You're all overwhelmed with information and die instantly. And then
Oh,
the split second later, the world returns to normal, and you're all fine again. And you're like, that was freaky. No, so you got your lighter underwater. You
Mhm.
activate it. You get rid of the demonic energy. You know, you boil some water. You disperse some magic, and it takes a couple minutes of waiting with this lighter underwater, your hand in the water, for anything to happen. But while you're kind of waiting around, you know, not doing much,
Mhm.
Xavier, assuming you are still conscious, you can give
Yeah.
me
He's very
a
conscious.
perception check, please.
I will say this,
Sure.
Nix, I am immortal, so
Okay, yeah, but if you die, you gotta wait for you to come back.
Well, looks like I'm paying for that 10 earlier.
oh boy, did you
God.
get a 1?
You know?
Oh, okay.
Can I
Well,
make a
that's
perception
convenient.
check?
No, you know what? No.
Oh,
No, you may not.
sick.
So X is busy playing with Battlecock off in one of the other areas, you know, few dozen feet away from you guys. And you guys do nothing for a couple minutes as you're doing this bait, and then you hear not Jose lay out a blood-curdling scream of agony, followed by like a bunch of squelching sounds. It's like, and then it's just quiet again.
I'll look to not Jose.
You turn around to see where he was standing, probably like 10 feet away from you. He is no longer there. There is a giant spray of blood all over the place, and the ground is disturbed, like something came up and grabbed him and dragged him back down.
Wait, his body, the bones, the trail. Where are they? Please.
Well, you can follow it, can't you?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Well, it's like blood vision, so you can only see through a foot of material.
No, the
Ah.
bones, they're gone. Fuck! I get pissed. Nix and Una gets pissed. That's
Well-
some good teeth.
Well.
Wait, actually, he
alright.
was behind us, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So therefore, we can assume that there are. If we're on the left side of the map, there's only so many bodies of ocean that we can check to. So, to a body of ocean you pick.
I need to
Or
check
we-
something.
or- I follow the disturbed ground back to where it came from.
Oh, this is good news for me.
Oh
Actually,
man,
is it?
not good. Not
kind
good
of
news for me.
Okay, so you guys turn around and you're like, OMG, they killed not Jose.
How could they?
And then GVH.
Well, I
you're
don't turn
still
around
kinda-
and I'm like, oh my god.
they killed Mount
Huh.
Jose. So yeah,
I'm
so
like,
are
huh.
you? Okay, yeah. So your hand is still in the water, and you're like, looking over your shoulder. You're like, huh? Not Jose is deceased. And as you kind of turn your head back to look at the water, you get a single like frame of vision of the head of a crocodile as it leaps out of the water and snatches your hand, your arm with the lighter in it, in its large jaws. I need to tell you what check to make for this bite attack. I need you to make me a strength check at disadvantage, and then add your
Okay.
strength stat number, and the crocodile needs to make a similar check. He got
Well, I rolled 2 10s, so it doesn't matter.
What
he
the
got
fuck?
14 in total.
His bones. How close am I to do anything for bones?
GBH. Your strength is 6. You got a 16 with the 10. Wow, you actually succeed. Kind of surprised. You look like you rolled that 10. So this crocodile, he jumps out of the water, lunges for your arm, and you get this single frame before this water spray blasts out and lunges at you, and you just manage to literally jump backwards and like 5 feet, leap backwards 5 feet from the edge of the water as this crocodile, this huge crocodile, not a huge crocodile, but like this really long crocodile. His head and his torso lunges out of the water to try and grab you, and its jaws snap closed like a couple of inches in front of your arm as you leap backwards. And you see that this gator is actually I can tell you how long it is. It is
30 feet long.
I think he's like 10 or 15 feet long, and he has like a
Oh,
dozen
boy.
pairs of legs. Like it's
I knew it.
a gatorpede.
Can I attempt to stab?
And then roll initiative
Ah.
after I find
Well,
art for
give
the
me that second 10.
Gatorpede. That's whatever. Here we go.
Agility of 5, I got a 15.
GBH got 15. I roll for Boston Brook first. He got a 1. Great job. A 6 in initiative for Boston Brook.
Boston
the
Brook is
world?
also petting Battlecock.
Yes, of course. Battlecock, ironically enough, rolled an 8. So
He just leaps out of X's arms.
Yeah, just flying sidekicks and crocodile on the side of the head. Epic. He got 14 in total. What that is? Actually, no, I'm wrong. I'm dumb and I'm wrong. I'm not wrong actually. 14. Gatorpede. He got a 15.
I got it's agility, right? I almost forgot.
Yes.
15.
Hey.
'Cause I rolled a 8 on the die and I have 7. Yeah,
Nice.
15.
Eva, are you alive?
He's actually pretty dead.
All right, so I'll roll initiative for him. That's what a Gatorpede
He's
looks
not.
like.
He's not. He's not dead.
He's dead.
No.
He's dead.
It's...
X
Yeah.
is dead. I've killed
Nyx, steal his bones.
Oh wait, am I first in combat order or something?
him. You might be. I rolled a 9 on the die for initiative for X, so now I need to find what his agility stat is.
No, I'm saying Nyx, steal X's bones because he's dead.
I could never do that to him.
You got a 13 for initiative.
Wow, I'm literally deceased. That's tragic.
Oh, you're not deceased. So you got a 13 for initiative, so
Not bad.
yeah, I got a 9. And look in chat, that's what you're fighting. It's called a Gatorpede.
Oh boy.
How great.
Gator
Yeah,
Damn.
wait.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it looks pretty like it has a lot of
Make it my
bones.
pet.
What? No,
Pretty
I'm
like
eating
it
that
has a
bone.
Battlecock steed, so that this Gatorpede is the steed of Battlecock, who's the steed of the Tooth Fairy.
Wait, that's the Battlecock
going
on
to
top
tame
of
it.
the Battlecock on top of the Gatorpede and Yuna on top of Battlecock that's on top of the
You know what I'm
Gatorpede.
imagining now? It's like a turducken.
Are you
Croc chick fairy.
Sure.
Doesn't quite roll off the
Sure.
tongue like a turducken does. I hate to admit it.
Croc and Fairy?
So yeah, actually, I think we can end the session off here on the beginning of combat.
No,
Ah, joy.
I wanted its bones.
You can
my
get its bones
You
in a
do
week.
not deserve its bones.
I'm gonna eat its bones. bro.
But you nice viewers out there do. So if you want to know what happens in combat next time, tune in. If you don't, well, go fuck yourself.
Subscribe and hit that notification bell to be alerted of when Nick steals more of your femur.
Be alerted when
free.
Nick is in your area. Thank you for joining us.
Bone Fairy proximity alarm system subscription system.
We'll see you next time on Quest for the Core.